Toby.
Welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well. Here we go again. Hello there. Oh, there you are, right over there, hiding in the corner of the room. Here we are again. We are back, everyone. I hope you are feeling good today. As you can see, my studio, as usual, is looking rather untidy, but that means that I'm very busy. So it's a good thing when you think about it. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan. Without his image. It's missing. I don't know where it's gone. It's disappeared. Has anyone got it? Have a look under your seat now. It might be there. My name is Mr. Duncan and I talk about English. Wow, you might even say that I'm one of those up there. I am an English addict and I have a feeling maybe you are one of those as well. Did you enjoy the little lambs at the start of the countdown? Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't it? Now that is something I filmed yesterday. We were out walking yesterday and all I can say is spring is really in the air right now. Everything is spring-like. It is like spring has arrived and I have a feeling maybe it has. Look at this outside. So there is the view right now outside my studio window looking rather nice. The grass is starting to look greener. Some of the trees already have their leaves, not all of them, but some of them, and everything is rather nice to say the least. So I am a little bit excited today, and I'm very happy, very happy to join you. We have a busy one, by the way, a lot of juicy things to talk about. When we say that something is juicy, maybe it is something interesting, maybe something that will make you excited. We have a lot of things today. We are going to take a look at my weight. As you know, I have been losing weight over the past few weeks. Can I just say, the fact that I'm losing weight is not a representation or any opinion that I have about weight or the appearance of people. It's all about health, to be honest. Each individual is responsible for their own lifestyle and health, I think. So I've decided that I don't want to get too overweight because I am at a very delicate age. Shall we just say? That's all I'm saying. I am at a very delicate age, an age where maybe I have to take more care of myself. So I have been losing a little bit of weight over the past couple of months. We are going to find out how much weight I've lost. I was around 13.5 stone. So we will see today what my weight is. Oh, we also have another thing we're doing today. I think I will show you this now because it is perhaps interesting. I'm not sure. Today we have a little competition that you can play amongst yourselves. What is in the box? Yes, we have a mystery box. What is in the box? Find out later on. Mr. Steve, of course, will be here as well, joining us live in the studio. Thank you very much for all of your good wishes for Mr. Steve, because he hasn't been very well. He had a terrible chest infection last week, very similar to what the Pope had. So I'm just wondering if the Pope caught it from Mr. Steve or Mr. Steve caught it from the Pope. Either way, it raises lots of questions. It really does. But Steve is feeling much better, so he is joining us live today. Of course, we have made it all the way to the end of another week and also a brand new month as well. We are here now in April, and I feel that spring is definitely in the air. Yes, it's Sunday. It's so good to be back with you today. Sunday, the 2nd of April. Did you get caught out yesterday by April Fools? Did anyone play a trick on you yesterday? I have to say I managed to make it through the whole of yesterday without being caught out by any April Fool's jokes. So fortunately I was able not to get tricked into doing anything silly yesterday. No one, not even Mr. Steve, was able to play a trick on me. So I wonder what is in the box. We are going to find out later. We also have Steve, who will be explaining what is in the box and why we have that particular thing. If you were watching on Friday, you would have heard me talking about something Mr. Steve is thinking of buying. So that might be a clue. Oh yes, I was with you on Friday. Did you know that? I was here on Friday doing a special live stream, and I'm back today every Sunday. Don't forget, I am here every single Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. I feel as if I'm losing my voice today. which is rather embarrassing, to say the least. But we do have Steve here. We will be finding out how much weight I have lost over the past few weeks, and we are talking about food idioms today. That might also be a clue about what is in the box. Find out all about that a little bit later on. As I mentioned at the start of the live stream, it really does feel as if spring is in the air. Oh, isn't that great? It really does feel as if spring has arrived, and I am feeling rather jolly because of it. I hope you are enjoying the weather. Whatever the weather is doing where you are, I hope it is okay, and I hope you are safe where you are, whatever it is doing outside. I suppose I should say hello to the live chat as well. It would not be the live stream without you here on the live chat. Can I say once again a big special hello to everyone. I wonder who was first on today's live stream. Oh, very interesting. The champion is back at the top. Congratulations, Vitas. You are first on today's live stream. Very interesting. Also, we have Valentin. We also have Luis Mendez. He's here today. Thank you, Luis. Also, Mosen. We have Beatrice. Beatrice, are you still in the mountains? Are you having a nice time up there? Have you had any snow? I wonder. Also, we have Valentin. We have Zuzika. Hello to you. Nice to see you here as well. And also Palmyra, Maria, Maruts is here as well. A lot of regulars and maybe some new people. If it is your first time here, please let me know. English Addict is what this is. If you are wondering, if you are looking around the internet for something stimulating to watch, well, maybe this will be something that will stimulate you and help you with your English learning. You never know. It might be something you enjoy. So stick around. Hello also, Kereta. Hello, Kereta, watching in Indonesia. Nice to see you here. We have Sash, or as I like to say, Double Sash is here today as well. Olga. Hello, Olga. You have some new sounds in your countdown. Well, that was actually the sheep yesterday. The sheep and the lambs were all calling and crying because many of them are newborn. So at this time of year, we normally find that there are many newborn lambs. So this is what I showed at the start of today's live stream. And there they are. Look, aren't they cute? Lovely lambs. I must admit, I do like them. I do like watching the lambs frolicking around. They always look so happy and lively. So that is what you saw at the start of today's live stream during the countdown. And that is something we filmed yesterday when we were walking around. Aren't they lovely? I have to say, I do like this time of year. I love springtime very much. You can see nature coming back to life after taking a nap during the winter months. Isn't that great? So that's what I was playing today at the start of the live stream, for those who were wondering. Hello, Haji. Hello also to... who else is here? Oh, very interesting. Some new faces. I think we might have some new people on the live chat today. Beatrice says, I am still in the mountains and I have sent you some photographs. Yes, I have seen them. I've seen them. Very interesting. I might show them next weekend. I haven't had time to sort through all of the emails because I have a few other things that I'm planning at the moment. Not very happy things, let's just say. However, next week, can I just say, we will be with you next Sunday. And it is, of course, Easter next Sunday here in the UK. We will be celebrating the Easter festival. Of course, that means we might be having a little bit of chocolate, something nice to eat, perhaps, something sweet. Lots of people like to eat certain types of food during religious festivals. And here we have Easter eggs. We also have hot cross buns as well. Very nice. We had one yesterday in town. Very lovely. Fresh and delicious. Hello also to Fernando. Fernando is here. Nice to see you all here today. Hello also Sylvie. Saturino says the slaughterers are putting lots of lambs down for Easter. Well, I suppose you can't talk about animals these days without talking about people who eat meat, people who like eating meat. And I will say, and I know I've said this before, I do like eating meat. I don't eat it very often, but we do have meat from time to time. So it is a very strange situation, a very weird situation to find yourself in when you enjoy watching animals playing and running around in the field, but also you enjoy eating those same animals. It is what we call a paradox in English. Hello, Sylvie. Sylvie says, bonjour. Hello to you. Thank you for joining me today. Talking of French things, of course, we are arranging a meet. We are arranging a meet-up. So there is one type of meat that you eat, and there is another type of meat which means to gather together. And of course, the spelling is also different as well. We are meeting up at the beginning of June, and we are hoping to meet up in Paris. Now, if you've been watching the news over the past few days, you will have noticed that things are a little active at the moment in Paris. So hopefully, by the time June arrives, I hope when June comes, there will be no more trouble in Paris. We will see what happens. But as far as we are concerned at the moment, it is still happening. For those who are concerned, it is still happening. We are still doing the big meetup in Paris at the start of June, for those who are wondering. We also have Alessandra Vitas. Vitas has a guess. I think there is a vacuum cleaner or a microwave in the box. Yes, we have the mystery box. I will show it you once again for those who missed it. We have a mystery box today, and the big question is, what is in the box? The big question is, what is in the box? Mr. Steve will tell us all about that a little bit later on. He will be showing us what is in the box and what that particular thing does a little bit later on, in around about 7 minutes from now. Oh my goodness, only 7 minutes before Mr. Steve appears right here for you all. And I have to say, there are many things Steve could be doing today, but he has decided to be here with us. I feel so honoured. Thank you, Mr. Steve. Mr. Duncan, are you really going to lose weight? It seems not. Hello, Valentin. Yes, I have lost weight already. I've been losing a little bit of weight. Nothing too serious, but I want to lose a little bit of weight because I've realised that I'm not as healthy as I should be. I remember a couple of years ago, in fact, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was around 2017 or maybe 2018, I did lose weight, and that's the last time I slimmed down. But then over time, you know what happens. You forget about all these things and you start enjoying all of the unhealthy food, let's just say. So I do want to lose a little bit of weight to make myself healthier. I have noticed when I'm walking sometimes I get out of breath. I find it very hard to catch my breath. But recently, with my lovely long walks, I've noticed that that no longer happens. It doesn't happen anymore. So because I've lost some weight, and even Mr. Steve is happy because he says, I do like slim Mr. Duncan. I like slim Mr. Duncan. I think the reason for that is because when we met, way in the past, I was very slim. Incredibly slim, in fact. So we will be looking at that. We have words and phrases connected to food, which I suppose is slightly ironic when you think about it, because we are talking about food idioms, and here I am talking about trying not to eat too much food. Isn't that weird? So Steve will be with us. Don't worry, he will be back with us on the internet. Saturino says, here in my country, lamb is the meat that is traditionally served at Easter. And the most famous recipe is abbacchio of lamb. I wonder what part of the lamb that is. Maybe it's the leg, or maybe part of a very meaty part of the lamb. I wonder. There is a thing called lamb shank, which is the top part of the lamb's leg, and it has lots and lots of lovely meat. And the lamb shank is a very popular part of the lamb, and it also tastes rather nice as well. Who else is here? Anyone to say hello to? Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Sandra says, is there an air fryer in your box? No, it isn't. It is not an air fryer. We already have one of those. About 3 years ago, Mr. Steve bought an air fryer for me at Christmas time, and we have used it many times, normally for frying chips, to be honest. Not so much anymore. As I just mentioned, I'm trying to lose weight, so we are not eating so many chips as we used to. Hello also to Alessandra. Hello, Alessandra. Nice to see you here as well. It's great to be here once again. Oh, for those who like playing it, we have Fill in the Blanks coming later on as well. Hopefully this week I will get everything right, because I had a very embarrassing moment last week where I couldn't find Fill in the Blanks. I couldn't find any of the quiz questions, unfortunately. So hopefully this week they will be in my system. I hope so. Hello to... Who else is here? I don't want to miss anyone out, you see, because I always feel embarrassed. I always feel slightly embarrassed if I miss someone out of my list. That's the reason why. So coming up soon, we have Mr. Steve. He will be here with us. And a lot of people have asked, can we see Mr. Steve doing his 1990s rave? Okay then. For those who have missed it, let's go back to the 90s with Mr. Steve. And it looks as if he is freaking out. You know what? Sometimes I never know what's going to happen next. And this is one of those times.
Hi there, Mr. Duncan. How are you? How's everyone around the world? Are you cool, man? Are you cool? Dig those tunes, Mr. Duncan. Dig those tunes. How you digging? How's life? How you digging? How's life? This is the new trendy Mr. Steve. How you like it? How you digging? How's life? I'm into all the social medias, Mr. Duncan, the TikToks. I'm on all those, the Facebooks, the TikToks.
So now you know what that's all about. That was Mr. Steve about 4 weeks ago. He was looking very trendy and smart on the live chat, and I couldn't resist making my own little edit of Mr. Steve. I must say, I have to say he did look rather cool, don't you think? We have Mr. Steve just around the corner. Talking of which, yes, he will be with us in a few moments from now. We'll have a quick break and then we will find out what Mr. Steve has been up to, because he's not been very well, unfortunately. So don't go away. Steve is coming. Soon he will be here. And hopefully that will be us in a few weeks' time when we are in Paris. Maybe they have somewhere that looks like a beach in Paris. We will find out in June. Here we are then. We are back together. And yes, he is here as well. We are back, and look, he is also back from his sick bed as well. Fortunately, he's feeling much better, thank you very much. Yes, there he is. For those who don't know who that person is, I will tell you. It is, well, it's Mr. Steve.
Hello.
How could you not know who this is?
I don't know. Some people, may have been asleep for the last few years. I don't know. But yes, here I am. Here we are. And yes, you might be able to tell. I'm a bit nasally.
Yes, it's all blocked up all around here.
I don't need you to touch me on the nose, Mr. Duncan.
It does take a lot of blocking up Mr. Steve's nose because it's so large.
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Duncan. Yes, well, yes, a bit of a funny week, Mr. Duncan. Week. Hello, everyone.
I'm not sure if I'd say funny.
No, I don't know.
It's not been funny.
I know.
Well,
I only had COVID a month ago, and now I've suddenly come down with something.
Well, on Wednesday we were arranging my mother's funeral. There's that as well, you see.
I thought you were talking about me.
So okay, then you really don't read the room very well, do you? You've got no filter whatsoever. So my name is Mr. Duncan. This is Mr. Steve. Sometimes he likes to pop up on my live streams and we talk about all sorts of things. Today, in fact, we've been playing a little game for the start of today's live stream and we've been trying to work out what is in the box.
Which box is this?
So what is in the box? I wonder. I think, Steve, we should reveal now what is in the box.
Well, there's been a few suggestions.
Yes, we've had quite a few suggestions.
Microwave, yes. Do you see that would fit? It's a box-shaped thing. A vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Yes, one of these new rechargeable ones, maybe. Well, yes, we haven't. No, it's definitely not any of those two things. Any other guesses that you've seen, Mr. Duncan?
Quite a few guesses. Somebody said a new console for my studio, a new piece of equipment.
Do Panasonic make that kind of equipment?
They do make some stuff. They make very good cameras. In fact, the camera that is showing the background here is a Panasonic camera. So Panasonic do make stuff for the studio, a lot of very good high quality stuff. So there it is behind me. So that image is actually being brought to you by a Panasonic camera.
We've got an interesting guess from Olga.
Oh. Oh.
Very interesting guess.
Very interesting. Well, I was going to give another clue. Here's the other clue. Here is the other clue, Steve. I will show you now. So there it is, another clue. Ooh, I do like this box, by the way, because it looks like an old-fashioned box from the 1920s. I like the style of the writing on that box because it makes it look like something very old. So there is another clue. So that looks like a box of yeast. Well, guess what? I think one or two people got it right, you see, because I was talking about it during the week anyway.
Ah.
I think a lot of people have guessed correctly. Mr. Steve, I don't know why, but suddenly Steve became very interested in making or baking his own bread, of all things. So I didn't realise he was doing this. He was doing it all in secret, behind my back, but he was ordering, choosing, trying to decide what type of bread maker to buy.
It's taken me 2 weeks to come to a decision, Mr. Duncan.
That sounds about right.
Yes, because I do not make decisions lightly. I have to look at all the reviews and decide which one is the best one. And strangely enough, Panasonic always came out top for these, and that's the one I went for. Well, I was going to buy it earlier on in the week, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
But I delayed because not feeling very well. And then when I went back on to order it, which literally, by a complete coincidence, was exactly at the same time you were talking about it on, was that Friday? Friday. And it had reduced by £30 in price.
Yeah. So how weird. When I was standing here on Friday talking about Mr. Steve wanting a bread maker, he was upstairs in his office actually ordering a bread maker. And it came yesterday, and Mr. Steve could not wait. He went into the kitchen. This is Mr. Steve this morning in the kitchen. And I'm sure Steve will help us by describing what we are seeing on the screen.
There we go. There are all the different ingredients. You've got flour with salt in there and a bit of sugar. You've got water. And there's the yeast. Yeast
is very important.
And a little bit of butter, as you can see on that yellow plate.
So what does the yeast do?
Well, that helps the bread to, well, you need the yeast for the bread to rise, for the dough to rise. And that's what they call instant yeast or quick yeast, which you use for bread making. So in the flour, I've mixed sugar and I've mixed salt according to the recipe. And there is the inside of the bread maker with the heating elements.
It's an amazing looking machine, and it's huge. See, I thought when Mr. Steve got it out of the box, I thought it was a printer for printing photographs. But
it looks like that, yes.
Yeah. So there it is. There's the little container that you put all of the ingredients in.
That's right. So I was just breaking up the fat there. I'd forgotten because I used to make bread when I was younger, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
Traditionally making it by kneading it, putting it in a warm place to allow it to rise.
Can I just say, making bread by hand is a very long and tedious process, but this machine does everything.
It is. So we haven't tasted it yet because it was only ready half an hour before we came on air.
So what we're doing now?
So we're putting the ingredients into the bread pan. That's called the bread pan. So you have to do it in a specific order.
Yeah.
According to these bread making machines. I didn't realise that.
What I love about this is it just does everything. So I really thought you were going to have to do something yourself, but you don't. You just put everything in there, and you will see in a moment Mr. Steve just puts it straight in the machine after adding some water as well. So you have to do everything in a very precise way.
Fairly, yes. I'm not quite sure why. You have to put the yeast in the bottom, and then you have to put the dry ingredients in, and then you have to pour the water in carefully. Now, I would have thought it would have all gone all gloopy, but if you look at that, I would have thought that's not going to work.
No.
It's all going to go weird with the water like that,
yes.
But it obviously doesn't.
And how long does it take?
4 hours.
So for a basic loaf of bread, all of the things the machine does for you, and there is Steve carefully putting.
Do you have to sort of put it in and twist?
Okay.
And there's a little paddle,
Yeah.
a paddle at the bottom of that bread tin, and that will it sort of kneads it.
Yes.
It kneads the dough.
So it mixes everything around, and then it slowly becomes solid. And I would imagine also there has to be a period of time where it is doing nothing. It is just slowly heating up to allow the bread or the dough to rise.
So, yeah, 4 hours. It's quite a long time, but apparently that's why they're so good, the Panasonic ones, because they take a long time. Now, guess how much this costs, Mr. Duncan?
Well, I don't really want to talk about that because it does sound as if we're advertising this, but we're not.
Well, I just want to say how much people think, because I would have thought, I've wanted a bread maker for years, and the only reason I'm getting one now is because our lovely bread shop has closed down in Much Wenlock, so all we can buy is packet bread, which is revolting.
So tell us about the machine.
Yeah, so there we go. It's got various settings. I've only just used, there we go, I've gone for the basic one at the top. Basic bread,
4 hours.
4 hours. It sets that automatically, and you can have a you can adjust the crust, how much it bakes. So you can have a medium crust, a light crust, or a dark crust.
Yes. And there's all sorts of different types of bread you can make in there as well.
All sorts of different types of bread. I've just gone for the basic one today. Olga's made lots of comments. She said that she's using a Panasonic bread maker. Guess how much it costs. Come on, give us some guesses, all of you watching. See how much you think it costs to buy a bread maker. Now, I've worked out that it will make bread for half the cost of a packet loaf in the shops.
Okay.
So it's going to take about 100 loaves to pay for itself.
Yes, that's a lot of bread.
Well, when you think about it, that's only like probably not even 6 months into. Well, we use 3 loaves a week, I would say.
Okay, then, Steve, I've got to stop you here because this is about to turn into you working things out.
Well, I'm not working anything out.
We all know it's not very interesting.
Well,
however,
you asked me to talk about it.
So how much was it?
Well, I'm asking for I'm asking for guesses.
Oh, okay.
No one's. 4 hours. It is a long time. You can set it to like on a timer, so you can put all the ingredients in, go to bed, and have it come on. It's sort of 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you've got bread ready for when you get up.
Imagine that, waking up in the morning to fresh bread. I like the sound of that.
I know. We want to see the result, Mr. Steve. You will. I've got the loaf in. I can always go and fetch it.
Wait there, Steve. You don't have to do that because we have it here on my system. If you remember it, I literally took a photograph of it, and we have it.
I know.
So would you like to see the finished product on the screen right now? This is what it looks like. This is the actual first loaf that we made this morning. And that is what it looked like when it came out of the bread maker. Isn't that amazing? Now, I have to say, Steve, that I don't get impressed by things very easily. I'm very hard to impress. But I am impressed with that.
Well, I'll tell you what you'll be even more impressed with, Mr. Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the cost of this machine. So we've had one guess. Well, Alessandra says £40, so that's at the low end.
It was a little bit more than that.
Olga said £200. The answer is somewhere in the middle. It was £99.
Yes.
So that's about, about 110 euros, which I think, for what that is, that's very cheap, and it will pay for itself once we've baked 50 loaves. It will have paid for itself. 100 loaves. It will have paid for itself. Compared to what you can buy in the shops, and it'll be nicer, hopefully, and we will cut it open after this live stream, and we will put some jam on it and some butter, and we'll see if it's been worth. If it's not, I'm sending it back.
Sadly, we won't be able to show you because we won't be here. We won't be live, you see, but we might show you something next week.
Aha. Oh, look at Pedro. Hello, Pedro.
Pedro Belmont.
Pedro Belmont's come up with a very clever suggestion, a very clever comment. Speaking about bread, who is the bread winner?
Yes, I'm sure you've asked that question before.
I know, but anyway, it's Mr. Duncan. I just think it's a very clever thing to put on. Who makes the resources or the income? Well, the answer's both of us, but
it's mostly Mr. Steve, mainly because I try to work on YouTube, and anyone will tell you, if you try to work on YouTube, you will not make much money from it because they don't really pay you.
Well, yes,
much.
I got the price. That was like a mid-range model. The cheapest ones are normally about sort of £90. But I got the one above it because it was in a sale at £30 off, so I was really pleased about that. And yes, it will make brown bread. It'll make any bread. Any bread you want, it will make.
It will even make beautiful French-style brioche.
Yes. All it changes is the ingredients, and then the machine works it out for itself. So anyway, that's enough about our bread machine, I think. But yeah, well, I'm hoping it tastes as nice as what I used to make when I was younger.
Yes.
I used to make it every week when I was, probably about 10, 15, something like that.
10?
Yes, I used to love doing it.
I just can't imagine a 10-year-old Mr. Steve in the kitchen making bread.
Well, maybe I was 12, 13, something like that. But, it takes up the entire morning virtually if you do it yourself. You have to get looking at it, kneading it, adding this.
So we're thinking of opening our own bread shop.
Yes.
And we might sell it from the front door of the house. So we might be doing that. We'll see how many types of bread we can make. Although I think we might have to buy a few more bread makers. We might have to have about 10 or 15 of them in the kitchen, all running at the same time.
That's it. We're going to open our own bread shop. And, of course, people are commenting that your diet is now, of course, effectively over, because all you're going to be eating is bread. So it's going to really affect your diet.
I have to say I do like eating bread. I can't pretend that I don't like eating bread, because I really do. I do love it, but I have cut back. We will be looking, by the way, in a few moments at my weight. I weighed myself. I had to be very careful, by the way. One thing I realised this morning, I was going to film myself going onto the scales, Steve, in the bathroom. And then I realised, because you have to do it naked, of course, you have to take all your clothes off. That's the only way of working out what your true weight is. The only problem is when I looked down, I realised the reflection.
You couldn't see the dials?
No.
Okay.
Steve, no, the reflection of me in the nude was clearly visible in the glass that I was standing on, because the scales are made of glass, so they're very reflective. And I realised you could see everything. Everything.
Yes, you're just putting people off their dinners. They're probably, because Belarusia will be cooking. By the way, Belarusia is very busy. Claudia, she's on, but she's gone already.
But I was going to say, I'm trying to get to a joke here.
Yes.
And everyone would have been able to see my meat and 2 veg, which happens to be what we're talking about today.
Really?
No, we're not talking about my meat and 2 veg. We are talking about idioms and phrases connected to food. We are talking about that a little bit later on, and Steve will be helping us as we go through the list. By the way, your meat and 2 veg. It's another word for your danglies, your dingle-dangles.
Oh, right, Mr. Duncan, right, okay.
So I had to be very careful. So I couldn't show a video because it was so disgusting. You could see everything. So instead I've taken a photograph instead and zoomed in, so you can't see any bits.
Edita from Poland. Are you new? I haven't pronounced your name correctly, I know. Edita something Sidek. So apologies, because I'm I can't speak Polish. I believe that Tomek is actually Polish, isn't he? So maybe somebody could help us with the pronunciation. Are you new? I'm going to call you Edta.
Oh, Tomek is here.
I know Tomek's here, yes.
Yes, he wasn't here. Oh, thank you. He wasn't here earlier. Steve is determined to give me some of his diseases, but I haven't caught it. I can't believe that. That's another thing I want to mention. I haven't caught Mr. Steve's chest infection. Or his cold. I haven't caught it.
Chest infection. I'm on antibiotics, Mr. Duncan.
Because my immune system is so strong.
Pity about the rest of you.
You are walking on very thin ice. That's all I can say. So we are doing...
Oh, yes, new.
We're doing fill in the blanks as well later on today. Let's hope it goes better than last week, because I made so many stupid mistakes.
Everyone's saying hello. Yes, Edita. Is that correct? Have I pronounced... Is it Edita? Have I pronounced your name correctly? I'm gonna try several different ways until I get it right. And everyone is welcoming Ajita to the live stream.
Well, as you know, this is the happiest and friendliest place on the internet.
You would not believe how friendly people are on this live stream, and there are many people who've been attending for years, and you are more than welcome, and feel free to say whatever you like, and we'll answer any questions, anything.
Except for the question that Valentin has asked.
What's that?
You are speaking of male parts, but what about female idioms? Is there a type of food? I'm not going there. Trust me. There is no way I'm talking about that.
No.
So yes, your meat and two veg, that refers to a man's dingle dangles, but I'm not going anywhere else. In every way possible.
Right, what are we talking about today, Mr. Duncan? We've got to teach.
What? I've just told you. I've literally just told you everything we're doing today.
I can't remember. That was minutes ago.
It was seconds ago. I literally just mentioned it. We're talking about
food, fruit and veg.
Food.
Meat and veg.
Food idioms.
Food idioms, right, okay. Are we playing the fill in the blanks?
Yes, I literally just said about 28 seconds ago.
Right.
It's nice to see that Steve is still paying lots of attention.
I can't stay on for long because I've got to go and try that bread.
Yes, I can smell it. There is one of the most delicious smells that you can have in your house. Apparently, here's a good tip, by the way. If you are selling your house and people come to look at the house, in case they're interested in buying it, always put some bread in the oven and heat the bread up. And then the beautiful smell, the aroma of the bread baking will fill the house.
That's what they say.
And apparently that's it. Yeah, if you want to sell your house.
That and coffee brewing. Coffee and bread in the oven. But the thing is, it's going to be a bit suspicious, isn't it? If somebody comes round to your house and they can smell bread and coffee, they're immediately going to be suspicious that you're trying to, to wow them, to make them feel good and to cover up any faults.
Can I just say, we did it and it worked. The first people who came to look at our house, the first people that came bought the house.
What did I do? Was it bread in the oven or was it coffee?
No, I did it. You didn't do it. I did it.
Right,
I got some slices of bread and I just put them in the oven. It doesn't have to be fresh bread. It can be any bread. You just put it in the oven, heat up the oven slightly, and then it produces this beautiful baking smell.
Talking of baking, Alessandra says, what type of flour did you use? Well, for baking, I tried a white flour for the first attempt.
Bit racist.
But so you're supposed to have what they call strong white flour for baking bread. It's different than the normal white flour for making cakes. It's stronger. I don't know why. I think there's more gluten in it. That's it. There's more protein in it, more of the gluten protein. So you get a much better texture if you use strong white flour. But you can bake gluten-free bread. There's a recipe for that. So I think I don't know what number it is. There's 30 different recipes on this machine.
I don't think we'll be doing that.
But we won't be doing that because it's revolting. So
yes.
My heart goes out to anyone with a gluten allergy because to never be able to taste lovely bread again must be I can't. That must be one of my worst nightmares actually. So
mine is not being able to eat sweet things ever again, which is the reason why I'm trying to lose weight, you see.
You mean if you turned diabetic?
Well, I don't want to have diabetes because then you can't have anything sweet. And that's it. It's all off the menu. And that's it. I said to you, didn't I? I said, I don't know what would happen. I think that's it. I think I would have to go to the hotel reception and check out.
You're right, Tomek. My listening skills, they've never been that good.
No.
But I'm not 100% at the moment. As I said, I did get this chest infection from nowhere.
Oh, come on.
We went for a walk and I had to stop on a bench. I couldn't breathe. It was quite scary.
So this was a few days ago. Steve was sitting down. Normally it's me who gets out of breath but it was Mr. Steve. It was the other way round. So now I am the fit one. I'm the healthy one, and Mr. Steve is the one who's suffering and coughing and sneezing and wheezing.
I don't think I've ever had a chest infection in my life. So I don't know what that means. Probably nothing. But yes, antibiotics, and hopefully it'll be gone in a week or so. Yes, strong white flour. Alessandra, I can always fetch the, when we've got a little break, I'll fetch the packet of flour and show you.
Yes.
But you have to use a special type of flour for making bread, which is available everywhere.
So that's one of the problems with modern bread. When you go to the supermarket and buy bread, the bread has been done very quickly. So it hasn't really had time to ferment, as it were. So all of the flour hasn't been converted by the yeast. So it's not really the same bread. But if you do it at home, you can take your time. So we could actually have some lovely sourdough bread, for example. That has to be fermented for, is it 5 hours?
I think you're 24 hours. You have to do something like a starter mix first. So you have to leave that bubbling away for 24 hours, and then the bread itself takes a lot longer to cook. I think it's just that the yeast has more time to use up the sugar and everything.
Yes. So if you are trying to stay healthy, apparently sourdough bread is the one to have. Apparently.
Yes, I think it is. Some bread without gluten is well made, delicious. I've just eaten. Okay, Beatrice. Yes, so Beatrice is saying some bread, gluten-free bread, is nice. I mean, it is okay. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's not the same, is it really? I once picked up accidentally on my lunch break a gluten-free sandwich. I was in a rush and I picked up this chicken sandwich, which I didn't realise had been made with gluten-free bread. I took 2 bites and had to throw the rest away. It was revolting. Maybe that wasn't particularly well made, but yeah. I mean, you'd have to give up cakes, everything, wouldn't you?
I can't even begin to think of that.
No.
It just makes me, I feel a chill going down me. So that's the reason why I'm trying to lose weight. That is the reason. I want to stay healthy. We are both at a very difficult age, a strange age where things can suddenly start going wrong. So we don't really want that to happen.
Pedro's reading Planet of the Apes. One of my favourite films.
Oh, okay.
Charlton Heston. I love that film. It's just brilliant. And of course, we all know what happens in the end. I won't ruin the ending if you've never seen the ending.
That's it.
Have you seen the film, Pedro?
Don't mention the bit about the Statue of Liberty.
No, we won't mention that.
At the end.
It's a brilliant film. It really is. The follow-ups are not so good.
So whatever you do, please don't mention the Statue of Liberty that he finds on the beach and it turns out they were on Earth all along. I mean, don't say that. Whatever you do, do not give away the ending.
Damn you all to hell. Or
Sorry?
Something like that, he says.
That's no way to speak to our viewers.
Well, he realises that they really did have a Third World War and blow everything up. It's a very dark film. It's a brilliant film, though. I like anything like that. That's why I like Alien or what's my other favourite one?
I don't know.
With,
I'm not in your brain.
You know, about the robots that look like humans. With
Westworld?
No, the other one with, they do the test to see if they're robots. Harrison Ford in it.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. That's probably my all-time favourite film.
You know, having a conversation with Steve is like playing charades.
I just back up. My brain's not working at the moment.
It's one word. It's a phrase. It's a man. He stands up. He sits down sometimes.
I know. My brain's just not working. I mean, it's never working that well.
No, that is true.
When it comes to, you see, I can remember. It's bizarre, Mr. Duncan. Everyone's different, aren't they? I can remember whole scripts, whole shows. I can memorise all those, no problem whatsoever. But then ask me the name of somebody I've known for years, and I can't remember the name.
No,
names. It's just
everything.
Names of books, films, people in them. I've got a complete block.
We've got to move on, Steve. As much as I would like to talk about your lack of memory.
Pedro hasn't seen the film yet, so anyway, whatever Mr. Duncan says, ignore it. Do watch the film, the one with Charlton Heston in the first one, Pedro. It's brilliant. If you
So,
like science fiction,
Of course, there were some
classic.
remakes made
Yeah,
later with
forget the remake.
terrible CGI. I don't know why everyone used to go crazy about them. They used to go ape. Do you like that? If you go ape,
Oh.
by the way, if you go ape, it means you get very excited. You get crazy and really excited about it. Or, of course, you get angry. We say a person goes ape
Yes.
over something.
So make sure, Pedro, if you're going to watch it, was it made in the 1970s? Probably, wasn't it?
No. The original Planet of the Apes was made in the 1960s.
Oh, was it?
Yes, I think
I
you'll
mean, it's in colour.
find it as the late 1960s. But what I always find...
That's the one to watch.
Okay, Steve, I think we've got that. What I always find silly about that film is it's only the Statue of Liberty that is...
Oh, don't give it away.
It's only the Statue of Liberty that's left. Where are all the other big buildings? Where are all the skyscrapers and
Well, because that's a tough bronze, made of bronze, isn't it? That would survive a nuclear attack.
What I think is that the people that made the movie didn't have much of a budget and they could only afford one special effect.
Well, it was brilliant, whatever it was.
It was good, yes. Who else was in it? Do you remember the other actor?
Yes, the one that played Cornelius. I don't know his name.
His name?
Famous actor.
Yes. Roddy McDowall.
Roddy McDowall, yes.
Yes. You saying it just after me, by the way, doesn't mean you...
I was just testing, you see.
No,
Well
you
done.
weren't.
Well done.
Yes. So apparently they won an Oscar for that movie, for the makeup. Apparently.
It's good.
It won an Oscar.
Yeah, it's good. Just read the book and then watch the film.
Anyway, talking of monkeys and apes and people jumping up and down, making no sense, it's English Addict with Mr. Steve and Mr. Duncan on a Sunday. And we are now going to have a look at my weight, because I have been trying to lose weight. And so I'm going to reveal today what my weight is now. So I have lost not as much as I wanted to, but as you said earlier to me, you said, Mr. Duncan, you have to be careful you don't lose too much weight because it isn't good for you.
No.
So here is my weight this morning. I was around 13.5 stone. And, okay, all right. Oh my goodness, that's not very centered.
Oh,
You were accusing me last week of being prejudiced towards people who are overweight, and then
bloater.
and then you do that.
I'm in
Anyway,
shape.
here it is then. So have I lost much weight? Well, the answer is not really. Well, I think I've lost about 10, maybe 10 stone, 10 pounds.
10 pounds.
So I was heading towards 1 stone, but not quite. And for those, of course, Mr. Steve is going to wonder what it is in kilograms. That is around 80 kilograms.
Right.
So that is what I weigh at the moment. So I have lost some weight.
You've lost about 6 kilograms then, haven't you? 6
Yeah.
or 7 kilograms, I would say.
Okay.
Uh,
So, yeah, I've lost some weight. So
I've lost some weight.
I've kind of done what I wanted to do, which was lose some weight.
So-
And I have.
In what period of time have you lost that weight?
It's around 2.5, getting on for 3 months. So I've been steadily doing it, but I haven't been going crazy trying to lose lots of weight. Just a little bit more exercise, cutting down on junk and rubbish. And that's it really. So I haven't really been changing everything that I do in my life. Just more exercise and being more careful of the things I eat. I can still have my little treats. So I still have nice things occasionally, but I don't have them every day.
Do I like Iranian movies, says Pedro. I've never watched an Iranian movie. They don't show them here in the UK for obvious reasons. Well, they might do. I've never seen one. The Salesman and The Apartment. Well, if that comes up, it's probably on. Could it be on Netflix?
Iranian cinema is actually very big.
Yes.
I saw quite an interesting. I've lost my brain's just switched off. Then how strange! I saw a very interesting documentary about filmmakers who live in countries where freedom of expression is not as open, as other places. And it's very interesting. One also was about Afghanistan as well. So what things were like before the Taliban came back in charge. And there was a thriving film industry in Afghanistan. And then all of it suddenly stopped. It was all brought to an end. And also a very similar situation in Iran as well. So there is an Iranian film industry. But I would imagine it's quite heavily censored, I would have thought. Today, Steve, we have a lot of things still to talk about. We are playing the sentence. Well, I say the sentence game sometimes, but it is actually fill in the blanks. We have fill in the blanks coming very shortly. But first, I thought it would be fun to take a look at some words and phrases, because this is why we're here, you see. We are here to teach English, to talk about the English language. And today we are going to talk about a subject that is very close to my heart, sometimes too close to my heart. We're looking at food idioms, Mr. Steve.
We've had one already from Pedro.
Yes. So there are many ways of using food. Maybe words connected directly to food, maybe ways of preparing food, perhaps, and also specific types of food, actual food that can be used in certain phrases. So we are going to look at those right now, Mr. Steve.
Good.
Here's another one. So we had Pedro's suggestion earlier.
Who is the breadwinner?
This
or
one.
Who brings in the dough?
Yes, okay, Steve. We're doing this one first.
Okay.
Bring home the bacon. Bring home the bacon. I think this is a great expression. Of course, bacon is something that is, well, it's actually processed pork. We don't really eat a lot of bacon, do we? Because it's quite heavily processed.
Very salty, full of nitrites.
Yes, it's got all sorts of things in it,
Preservatives.
including, yes, and colouring as well, to change the colour of the actual meat, so it looks more appetising.
This isn't the sort of this isn't the phrase you would. Well, anyway, let's tell us what it means first, Mr. Duncan.
If you bring home the bacon, it means you are bringing home something that is useful to your family. It is helping your family to live or to sustain themselves. Maybe you are bringing something back that is useful, or you are earning something or gaining something that will be useful to you, your family, and it will help you to support them. You bring home the bacon. So it is very similar to breadwinner.
Yes, yes, it means the person that really brings in the most money, probably, doesn't it? Or brings in a lot of money. Go to work and bring home the bacon. Your wife might say to you if you're lazily sitting there not doing anything. I mean, obviously, bacon is probably when this phrase was invented. I don't know, 100 years ago or something. Bacon was probably seen as quite an expensive cut of meat. It was. I mean, when we were growing up, bacon was expensive.
Well, it's what it actually is. It's a basic commodity, because
Right.
bacon and cured meat. Well, cured meat has been around since, I think you'll find, since Roman times. I think they were curing meat. So bacon is a type of cured meat, preserved, kept. But over the years, of course, it is now considered quite an unhealthy thing to eat, to be honest.
It is, and it's not the kind of expression you would use if you were a certain religion. You know, it's restricted in its use around the world,
Maybe
this phrase.
Yes, maybe if you... Well, I don't think the phrase is outlawed.
No, but you
Just
wouldn't want to use it if you were...
No,
You know.
anyway. Are we really that sensitive? I don't think so.
I think they are in certain religions. when it
Bring
comes to
home the
pork.
bacon, unless, of course, you are a Muslim or a Jew, in which case
you'll be,
you won't.
you'll have something else
Yes, anyway, Steve,
in place of bacon.
this is not really the point of the conversation.
I
To
know, but
be
with-
the cherry on the cake.
People watch from all over the world, you know. Yeah.
The cherry on the cake, what is it? What is the cherry on the cake, Steve?
Well, I mean, literally, it would mean a nice red shiny thing on top of a cake.
Yes.
A red cherry, but...
It is the perfect addition. Oh, sorry.
That's all right, yeah. I
was quite sure.
Sort of cut me off there, Mr. Duncan, but never mind.
Well, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take you. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take you to get to the point.
Yeah, that's it. You carry on, Mr. Duncan.
It's the last thing that you add that makes everything great. It is the cherry on the cake. It is the final touch, the final detail that you add that makes everything look amazing.
Yeah, so if you're baking a cake and you put icing on it, that makes it, the cake itself is nice, the icing looks nice, and then the cherry on the top just gives it the finishing touch to make it more presentable. But, of course, we're using this not to talk about cakes, but it could be anything. Oh, that's the cherry on the cake.
Yes.
That is, it's like somebody, say you went out for a birthday party.
It's figurative.
It's figurative. So you all went out for a meal out somewhere, and it was somebody's birthday, and you were buying them a nice meal, and but then the inn came. They'd had a lovely day. You'd been out for the day.
Okay.
You might be whatever you wanted to do. You'd had a lovely day. They bought them nice presents, and then you went out in the evening for a meal. You took your loved one out for a meal, and then in come the people that work in the restaurant, and they come in with a cake or something, or they sing happy birthday.
Is this in real time?
And you might say, "Oh, I've had such a lovely day," but that's the cherry on the cake, or the icing on the cake is another phrase you could use.
Yes, similar thing.
Similar thing.
So the perfect finish, the perfect detail that makes everything else fantastic.
It's already good, but then you just add one little extra thing, and it makes it perfect. Trying to think of another example, because it's good to give lots of examples for these.
Well, I think that example that you gave there, we all lived through it. It was like it was really happening in real time.
Yes.
Anyway, here's another one, Steve. I mentioned this earlier, by the way. It's a rude one. It's rude.
Well, it's you, so there's going to be a rude one.
Meat and 2 veg. So this is what I mentioned earlier.
We've had it already.
Yes, I mentioned it. It wasn't here on the screen. So it's basically the man's dingle dangles.
Again.
There we go.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. So that's it. Meat and 2 veg. It's rather crude, but it's a very nice way of saying a man's dingle dangle without actually saying it. You might say...
Well, you've said it about 6 times already on this live stream.
You might say we were playing sport on the field, and someone kicked the ball and it hit me right in my meat and 2 veg. You see, so that's a nice way. It's more polite.
Yes.
Here's another one, Steve. Something is your bread and butter. That's quite suitable for today.
Something is your bread and butter. Yes, that's it. That means that's the main thing that you do, or the thing that you're best at. Would you say?
The thing that you do that also means you can make a living from it.
Yes, your bread and butter. Yes, that's it. So in my case, when I was working in sales, my bread and butter were my customers, I would say. Yeah. Going to see my customers, I would you would describe them as my bread and butter, because without the customers, then I wouldn't have sold anything. What's another example, Mr. Duncan?
Well, anything that brings in a living, or something that allows you to earn money, your bread and butter. It is the thing that allows you to survive or live. So literally, bread and butter is the most basic food, but it is food that most people eat at some point. So it is the thing that allows you to keep surviving. It's a bit like, to be honest, it's a little bit like bringing home the bacon. Something is your bread and butter. It is the thing that helps you to survive and live in this world.
Trying to think of another. Yes, yeah. Trying to think.
Well, that was a good example. What you said.
Yes, but it's always nice to have other examples. we've got lots of suggestions from people here for idioms for food, but we'll go through yours first, and then
Okay.
if they don't come up, then we'll read them out.
Shall we do another one? To water down something. What happens, Steve, if you water down something? Again, this is something that can be used literally or figuratively. So you might have some orange juice and you want to give the orange juice to lots of people, but there is only a small amount of orange juice in the bottle. So you might add some water so there will be more of it. I think that's what Jesus did with the wine. I think he just put lots of water into one bottle, and then it made lots and lots of wine for everyone to enjoy. If you water down something, it means you make it weaker. You add something, you get more, but it is not as strong. The flavour is not as strong. We can also say if you make something not so strict or not so strong, maybe a law, maybe a rule, you might water down that law. You make it not so strict. Maybe you reduce the punishment. You water down. So in that particular sense, we are using it figuratively.
And it's normally used in a sort of a negative way. You often hear politicians from other parties criticising the government who might have brought out a certain proposal, and then they will accuse them later, and then they realise it's unworkable, and then they change the details of this new law, and then the opposition will cry, "Oh, that's a watered down proposal." So, in other words, it's not as good as it originally was. That's what you're inferring there. That if you water down a proposal or a law or something at work, then it means that it's probably not as good as it was before, possibly because it was unworkable in its original form. For example, here's an example at the moment related to cars, Mr. Duncan. So the EU, the EU had this proposal in place that there would be no more cars with internal combustion engines after. No, it's all right. This is after 2030. That's it. Cliff edge. You can only buy electric cars after then. But they've watered down this proposal only last week. They've already now extended it to 2035. So there's a lot of criticism, and people are actually using that phrase that the EU are watering down their proposal for, getting greener and going towards a net zero and all that kind of rubbish.
Okay.
Well, I won't say rubbish, but it's but yeah. So yeah, you water down something. It's usually used negatively.
Okay, we've only got 15 more of these.
I know, but
Here's another one, Steve. Something
explain these things.
Okay, Steve. I think Steve's getting angry with me. I'm not stopping Steve from talking. It's just we only have 35 minutes left, and we've still got to fill in the blanks. And there's no way we're going.
We don't have to do all of these.
No. Well, I just spent all morning making them. Chew the fat. Something that we do sometimes, Mr. Steve. This is figuratively done. We say that something figurative is something that is not literal. So you are not actually sitting there chewing fat. You are actually talking about something. You are talking about things. Maybe you are catching up on the news with your friend. Maybe you are finding out what is new in their life. You chew the fat. Maybe you are discussing a certain subject.
Yeah, the suggestion is that you're going into the suggestion is that you're not really talking about anything serious when you say chew the fat. It's almost like, and it tends to be used for men, isn't it? When men get together and talk, I don't think you, because let's chew the fat is usually something that I think would be used to describe sort of men getting together in a pub and just sort of moaning and groaning about things and just airing their grievances about what's going on in life at the moment.
Yes. So general discussion about anything, maybe in business, people could sit down over dinner and chew the fat. Not the actual meal, but maybe something to do with their business. They just talk it over, to talk something over. We will have a couple of more.
Loads of suggestions on here, Mr. Duncan.
I'm sure there are.
Yes.
Okay then, Steve. Here's another one. A hot potato. Oh. Interesting. I like this one because we could talk about lots of things at the moment, Steve, that could be described as a hot potato. A hot potato is a subject or topic that is not easy to talk about, or maybe something that will get other people angry or upset. So a hot potato is something that you can't hold in your hand very long. You can't hold it for a long time. You have to pass it on to someone else. You can't hold it. You can't keep talking about that particular subject. You might describe it as a hot potato. I'm sure we can think of many things at the moment. Politics, perhaps, maybe something connected to world events.
Trans.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything particular.
Well, I'm just saying that's a bit of a hot potato at the moment, because the idea is with a hot potato as well is it's a subject that can cause controversy, can't it, when you talk about it? Yeah.
Like I just said.
So, you get into lots of arguments, like Brexit's a hot potato. Still, it's a hot potato. It's one of those subjects you talk about it, lots of people get upset and they take their sides and get into their silos. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, I won't go into
Quite often
that.
Something people avoid talking about might also be described as a hot potato. Perhaps something that maybe is taboo, or maybe something that you should avoid talking about. So it's a little bit of a hot potato. I like this one. Let's end with a cheerful one, shall we? Let's have a look.
And then I can read out some of the ones we've had from our lovely viewers.
Well, we don't have time, unfortunately, Steve, because we have to play fill in the blanks. That will take about 20 minutes.
Well, that gives us a bit of time. Can I have a few minutes, mister? Please, please.
Steve wants a few minutes. Here we go. Mr. Steve is feeling much better after his nasty illness. He is now almost fully recovered and full of beans. A person who is lively?
Yes, somebody who's got lots of energy, lively, enthusiastic, talkative. Something I'm not really feeling at the moment. Yes, you could say, I feel full of beans today.
We've noticed.
You might have had a good night's sleep. You might be excited because you're doing something that you are interested in and you love doing. Or somebody at the office might say, oh, look at you, you're full of beans today. Suggesting that you're very cheerful and outgoing and talkative and full of energy. Full of beans. Not quite sure where that comes from. Presumably if you eat a lot of baked beans, there'll be a lot of movement going on inside you from all the gas.
I think it's
or is it jumping beans? Because there is such a thing as jumping beans, aren't there? That sort of jump about, and maybe it's replicating that energy is where that phrase comes from. Maybe
full of the joys of life. You are full.
Yes.
Of beans. Okay, Steve. You have 25 seconds. No, not
25
really.
seconds.
Not really.
Right. So.
Okay.
Tom, you talked about cherry on the cake. Well, there's a similar one, cherry picking.
Yes.
Cherry picking, where you just pick out the best bits of something, and you only pick out the bits that you really like from something. Often people describe the Bible when people there's obviously lots of information in the Bible,
information.
And then people will maybe just talk about gay issues, and just it's bad. It says in the Bible it's bad, but it's people. You often can say to people that they're cherry picking because they're just taking that little bit out, that little bit of information out, and talking about it, and conveniently ignoring all the other things which are in there, which we don't do anymore.
Yes.
like stoning people,
okay, Steve.
you know, exactly, or women shouldn't be teachers, that sort of thing. So
What?
well, I'm just explaining what cherry picking means. You pick out bits, but it's not representative of the whole necessarily. So you pick out something, but there's other things there which you conveniently forget about that actually would destroy your argument very, very quickly.
That is true.
So that's cherry. So that's a good one. So that's a bit different than cherry on the cake.
All right. So,
Eat like a horse.
okay, Steve, we're there.
That's all right. I'm trying to get
just trying to add something else to what you've just said.
Okay.
So just everyone take a deep breath.
You're wasting time.
Everyone take a deep breath. I was going to say that other holy books are available.
Well, anyway, right.
Other holy books are available besides the Bible. There you go.
But I'm just using that as an
No,
example.
don't.
All right. Eat
I'm not-
like a horse,
I'm
says
not-
Vitas.
I'm not attacking you, Steve.
Eat like a horse. Eat.
What?
I thought you didn't want to waste time, and now you're talking over it. Eat like a horse just means you eat a lot. You're very hungry. Obviously, horses eat all the time, and they're always munching away. So if you are somebody who's very hungry and eating very quickly, you can often somebody might say to you, "Oh, you're hungry. You're eating like a horse." So you can say, "Oh, I could eat like a horse today." So that's a good one.
I think it also refers to eating all the time. A person who's always got food in their mouth or in their hand, and they eat a lot over maybe a long period of time. He's always eating. He eats like a horse. So that's a good one. Another one, Steve?
There we go. Right, there were some other ones. A couch potato, says Olga. Yes, somebody that sits down a lot and doesn't do very much. Sits in front of the television, maybe sort of eating crisps for hours on end. A lazy person.
The inference, yes, is that they are lazy.
The inference, they're sitting on a couch, so they're watching television probably. Have bigger fish to fry. There's a good one, Vitas. I can't talk to you about this nonsense. I've got bigger fish to fry. So in other words, what you're saying, when you say that to somebody, you're saying, I've got far more important things to do than just stand around here talking gossip or something like that. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got more important things to do. And that's quite a good, you can say it jokingly as well, can't you? As well. So there we go. Full of beans. Yes, we've had that one. There we go. Low-hanging fruit, says Valentin. That's a good one. Low-hanging fruit. That's something that's easy to do. Say you've got a project. They often used to talk about that in sales, that you've got a target to meet. You've got to sell so much of something. And they would say, well, go for the low-hanging fruit first. In other words, go for the customers that you think are more likely to buy off you. Don't go for the difficult ones first. Go for the easy option first and get some success quickly by going for something that is going to give you a result fast. Is what low-hanging fruit means.
Yes, it can sometimes be used negatively, but quite often it's the thing that is the easiest to achieve.
What's the easiest thing to achieve in the quickest possible time, just to give you a bit of confidence in what you're going to do? That's a few that I've picked out from there, so thank you for that. And I also want to thank Lewis Mendez.
I think Steve means Lewis Mendez
for mentioning the lovely long queues at Dover, which is obviously all over the news in France as well.
Well, that's because people are going away for the Easter holidays.
They're going away for the Easter holidays, just they're going to France, so we've got to be careful we don't go on the ferries when we go to Paris, Mr. Duncan, because we might get stuck in a long queue.
Well, it won't be Easter then.
I know it won't be Easter then, but there's been queues all the time. So, yeah, this is a direct result of Brexit, although, of course, the British are blaming the French for it. I don't know whether you know, Lewis, that the news in the UK is blaming the fact that the French haven't put enough people on the customs to check the passports. That's what they're blaming in the UK.
Can I just say, I don't blame the French for doing that, because it was our fault. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. You do something that actually ends up harming yourself. So I don't blame anyone. I think if Europe wants to punish us for being such crybabies and leaving, Do it. Make our lives as difficult as you want.
The thing is, you now have to. Every passport has to be checked. So if you've got tens of thousands of people, there's no way you're going to have enough people to check all those. If you've got to check every passport one by one, coach load after coach load of people.
Okay.
Tens of thousands of people. You would need to put thousands of people on at the custom. You couldn't do that. So you can't blame the French for that. They've probably put more people on, but they'd need. How many people are they supposed to train up to do this?
I've got to.
Yeah, exactly.
Might have to
it's
put
not their fault at all.
Yes. So you can punish us all you want because we deserve it, basically.
And I would imagine VTAS to put this last one in that they're going bananas. They're going bananas. Thank you for that, VTAS. If you go bananas, all the people waiting to get through the customs at Dover and go to France are going bananas because they're having to wait 12 hours. It just means they're going mad. They're getting very angry and they're getting very upset. To go bananas, it means you get very upset and agitated.
Or just go crazy.
Or go crazy, yes. You don't shut up, I'm going to go bananas.
Yes. Or if you get too excited as well, you might say that someone has gone bananas.
And that's a nice way to end that little segment, Mr. Duncan, on food idioms.
Oh, it's nice to see Steve is now editing the live stream.
I'm full of beans now.
Yes, you've cheered up. We will be eating some of that delicious bread that Mr. Steve made today in his new toy. He has a bread making machine. We are going to play Fill in the Blanks in a few moments from now. What's that, Steve?
Tomek says, don't get worked up about something you can't do anything about.
I know you seem to be. I could see that little vein on the side of your head starts to come out.
This is what I do all the time, Tomek. I always get myself upset and worked up about things I can do nothing about. And that's what they always say to you at work. Don't sweat the small stuff. Oh, no, that's not the phrase I mean. Don't... The things you can't do anything about, don't get upset about them. Just accept them. But I can't accept them. I'm sorry, I can't accept them. Can't accept stupidity and at work, I can't accept it.
What?
And when the company does something, you think that's just stupid. I don't accept it. You see, that's one of my problems. One of my stresses in life is not being able to accept things that I can do nothing about. And if I could learn that, my life would be a lot easier, wouldn't it, Mr. Duncan?
And so would mine.
Well, you're the cause of most of it.
I am. Can I just say, I'm the loveliest person to know in the world. Can I just, anyone looking for a lover or a relationship, can I just say, here's a piece of advice. This will stay with you for the rest of your life. This is serious. If you meet someone and you can stand more than 5 minutes with them, keep them. Don't let them go, because that could be the one. So don't be too choosy. I think sometimes being too choosy about a partner, or maybe we always think that person has to be perfect. But if you meet someone on a date and you can spend more than 5 minutes with them without wanting to kill them, keep them. Keep hold of them. Don't let them go, because that could be the one. That could be the person you'll be spending the rest of your existence with.
Is that the method you used on me, was it? I could be able to stand him for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. That's it. He's a keeper.
Yes, well, it worked. You are proof. I could stand being with Steve for more than 5 minutes, and that's it. I thought, okay then. All right then. I don't want to push him out of a window. So that's a good sign.
Don't take relationship advice off Mr. Duncan.
No, take it. That's the best advice. 5 minutes. Time it. Have a timer in front of you. If you can stand that person for more than 5 minutes, keep them. Keep them nearby, because they could be the one.
I'm going to calm down. I'm going to remain as cool as a cucumber, says Valentin. Yes, that just means that you don't get upset about anything. You stay calm no matter what is going on, whatever stresses and strains and upset is going on around you. No, I'm going to stay cool.
I really want to see that.
Unflustered.
I want to see it.
I know.
Anyway, we are 20 minutes away from the end of today's live stream. We will be back, of course, next Sunday. it is Easter next Sunday. So I'm hoping that we might be eating something different from bread. Maybe something chocolatey.
No chocolate for you, Mr. Duncan. Bad for your waistline.
I will sneak some chocolate into the house without Steve knowing. Here we go.
Will you have egg on your face?
Will I have egg on my face?
Yes, chocolate egg on your face.
Oh, I see.
If you've got egg on your face, somebody else mentioned that as an idiom. If you've got egg on your face, it means that you've been caught out in something, and everyone can see how silly you are.
Yes, to be embarrassed or ashamed, or in a situation where you feel shame in front of others.
Yes, there we go.
You have egg on your face. Shall we play fill in the blank?
Yes.
I really feel as if I want to play fill in the blanks. It is time now, everyone, to play.
What happened last week?
Well, this week I have it. This week I've sorted it out.
Right.
No mistakes this week. It's time to play.
Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks,
Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. With Mr. Steve and Mr. Duncan. And that's what we're doing right now. Are you ready to fill in the blanks? All you have to do is choose words that could go in the spaces that I leave in the sentences that you will see on the screen.
And are these related to food in any way?
They are not.
Totally random.
So then they're not. They're random, but they are. I've made sure that today we can use more than one word and replace different words with other words. So get your brains working, fire up those synapses, and let's play today's fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Oh, here we go then. You must something the something harder to something it.
All right. Okay.
So this is something we are saying to another person as a piece of advice to help them do something physical, an action.
And while we're waiting there, I will explain to Lewis and to anybody else who's watching what Vitas suggested as another idiom: walking on eggshells. Yes, if you walk on eggshells, it means you're being very careful. You're being very careful not to say something to upset. Now, if you are in a group of people and you know somebody is easily upset, maybe they don't like rude jokes, maybe they don't like something. If somebody's very sensitive, then and you're in a room with them and you're starting to be very loud and talking, somebody might say, well, be careful of Bill over there.
Bill.
Or Jason or Jane or Alexandra or anything. Be careful. You better walk on eggshells because they're very sensitive. Or you could say, somebody might say, oh, be quiet. You know, don't keep airing your views in that way. You might say, well, I don't want to walk on eggshells. I'll say what I like. Is that right?
Yes, something you have to do delicately.
Yes.
With care or caution. You walk on eggshells. Maybe in a family situation, maybe your father gets angry all the time. So you don't want to upset him. You don't want to make him angry. So everyone has to walk on eggshells. So it's a good one because it's a very expressive type.
Hello, Govind Patel from India. I don't recognise your name. I think you're new. Saying hi, sir.
Oh.
So welcome, Govind.
Hello,
Patel.
Hello, Govind, watching in India. Hi.
Hope you're that you are. Oh yeah, Lewis knew the idiom. It was the joke. Oh right, okay. Well, we've explained it for other people in case they didn't know. There was a joke from Vitas Oh, yes. Yeah, I see what you mean. The one about the cat. Yes, I think what that means is that cats, I think that joke means that cats do what they want. You can't tell a cat to do something. So if it does something that you wanted to do, it's only doing it because it wants to do it at that particular time.
So you've told it to do something and it does it just by chance.
You can train a cat to do anything the cat wants to do at the moment it wants to do it. Yes, the inference is cats do what they want, not what you want them to do.
So do we have any suggestions of the fill in the
that's
blanks?
good. What are we doing? Oh, yes. You must do the hardest to achieve it. You must do the oh, it's vanished. It's gone now. It's been retracted. Sorry. As I was reading, it's been retracted. You must make the game harder to play it. You must make the game harder to play it. Yes, if you want to make it harder.
Yes. Or to enjoy it. Or to experience it. You must play the game harder to experience it, to feel it.
You must make the game harder to play it. Yes, you must. Beatrice says you must do the exercise harder to achieve it. You must do the exercise harder. Is that good English?
You can exercise harder. Yes,
but you must do the exercise. The word "do" in there probably isn't. As Francesca's done the same thing. You must do the cycling harder to climb it. You must do the exercises harder.
So think of an object. So this is really more referring to something that's connected to an actual object rather than an activity. So I will give the answer in a moment, the answer that I've got, because I want to do two more as well.
You must do the exercise harder to achieve it. Yes. Harder to achieve whatever it is that you want to do.
You must strike the ball. You must strike the ball harder to make it.
Launch it. You must get... strike, ball, make. You must strike the ball harder to make it. To make it where?
Well, I think Tomic has actually continued the sentence to get over the net.
Oh, right.
Of course, we haven't continued the sentence, but it ends with a full stop.
Yes. Yeah. You must strike the ball harder to launch it, you could say. Or to,
You must hit the television harder to crash it. Well, maybe you could say fix. You must hit the television harder to fix it. So sometimes when your television, especially the olden days, when televisions used to be big, massive boxes, and when they went wrong, you would thump the top of it.
Sarah says you must feel the pain harder to achieve it. You don't really feel pain harder.
No.
You must... That. There's a lot of suggestions so far, unfortunately, grammatically, they're not quite correct.
So we are looking at something you are physically doing, but also connected to an object. And you will see why when I reveal what my answer is, but also there are other choices as well you can add to that. So we will say... Time's up.
See, instead of do, you could put work. You must work the exercise harder to achieve it. That doesn't quite work either. I can see what you're all trying to do.
Anyway, here's the answer that I've got, but also I will show you. So I've got to carry on, Steve.
Go on then.
I'll show you the answer. You must push the door harder to close it.
Oh, no, there we go, yes.
But of course, you can have the opposite. You must pull the door harder to open it. So you could actually put the opposites in that sentence. You must push the door harder to close it. You must pull the door harder to open it. So there are two ways of expressing something in that sentence. One going in a certain direction and the other one going in the opposite. So
Valentin has got a good one.
Okay.
You must study the subject harder to learn it.
Very good.
Very good, Valentin.
That's it.
Very good indeed.
That's also a good one.
Francesca's, but you must hit the nail harder to stick it. Well, you wouldn't use stick when it comes to a nail. I know what you mean. Stick it in harder to
secure it.
Secure it.
Yes, maybe something you're trying to fix in a certain place. Maybe you have to push something harder or hit something harder. So yes, that's quite good. We have to move on, Steve.
Here's a good one. You must kick the dog harder to scare it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or kick the cat harder to kill it.
Okay.
You must kick the cat harder to kill it. I would have given 10 out of 10 for that one. But yeah, fine. Right, on to the next, Mr. Duncan.
Okay. Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks.
You must stab the person harder to kill it. Anyway, right, let's move on.
Is that your suggestion? Because that's the worst one we've had.
I thought my chest was getting better.
Your suggestion was the worst one we've had today. I never something to something you. So this is a short one. I've made this probably a bit easier. So there are many suggestions, many things you could add here in this particular sentence to make it work. I never something to something you. So you might say that this is a type of apology, maybe. I never. Maybe you are regretting something you've done, or maybe something you did, but you did not intend it to happen.
I've got a good one.
Oh.
I think lots of things would fit in here.
It doesn't involve cats, does it?
I never intended to marry you. Anyway, here's a good. Beatrice is first up with this one. I never tried to call you. Yes.
Yes.
Somebody might phone you back or phone you up and said, "Oh, have you been trying to get in touch with me?" And you might say, "Well, I never tried to call you." They might have said, "Oh, I've seen a missed call from you." No, I never tried to call you.
I didn't. So I never tried. I did not do it.
Or Valentin has said, "I never intended to harm you." There's a good one.
Yes.
I never intended to harm you. Very good, Valentin.
Yeah, it's a good way of showing regret, perhaps, or maybe something you did, but you didn't mean it in that way. So yes, I never stopped to love you. That one again, we have a slight problem with the grammar. I never stopped, or I never stop to. We never really use stop and to in the same sentence because first of all, the grammar doesn't work at all. I never
wanted to touch you.
Okay.
Tom. I never say to marry you. Yes, I never meant or never asked to marry you.
I never wanted to marry you. I never wanted to. I didn't. I never wanted to.
Instead of never say to marry you, that's not grammatical. You would say I never asked to marry you. You would have to put in there to make that.
Or I never intended. I never wanted to marry you.
Yes.
I never intended. I never planned to marry you. So I suppose there are many things we can put.
I never managed to beat you. says
Yes.
Jimmy. Yes.
Yes.
I never managed to beat you. Could be that you've played chess or tennis, or it could be a competition at work, sales or something. I never managed to beat you. You never did better than that particular person. I never intended to hurt you.
I tried to do it.
Alessandra.
I tried to do it, but I didn't do
I
it.
never intended to hurt you. That sounds like the title of a song.
I never intended to hurt you.
I never said to marry you. See, that's not grammatically correct. I never asked to marry you would be a better way of expressing what you want to say there.
Tomek has a good one. I never meant to ridicule you.
Meaning me, of course.
Oh, I see.
Or you, for that matter.
Yes.
Which, of course, we know is a lie because Tomek does mean to ridicule. No, I'm joking.
I never intended to hurt you. Thank you, Alessandra. That's a good one.
That does sound like a song.
I would imagine it's being used a lot of times in songs.
I never thinked to meet you. Oh, that wasn't quite right. I never wanted to meet you.
Yeah.
You would put in praise. I never wanted to meet you. You're a horrible person. I never wanted to meet you.
So maybe something unplanned. I never intended. I never wanted. I never chose even. I never chose to see you or to love you.
Despise you, says Driss.
Yes.
I never meant to despise you. But it's probably not a word you would use in a sentence like that.
But to despise someone is quite often intentional.
Yes.
So it's very hard not to mean to hate someone.
Yes.
Because, to be honest, it's quite often intentional.
Yeah, you wouldn't say I never meant to. Yeah, you wouldn't, because you do. It's always intentional to hate somebody or yeah. Anyway, right.
And here is the suggestion that I have. Would you like to see my
Go on.
suggestion? This is the suggestion that I have. I never intended to hurt you, which I think we had.
Well,
Yes.
Alexandra
Driss.
said that.
And also Driss as well.
Oh,
Driss.
right, okay.
Fikri also. I never intended to hurt you. I think we had one or two people with that one.
Yeah.
So
yes.
that's quite good. Yes.
Or, yes, I never intended to call you, you could say, which is slightly close to what Beatrice has said. If you pocket dial somebody
Yes.
or accidentally call somebody on the phone by mistake, oh, hello, oh, no, I never meant to call you, or I never intended to call you. I pocket dialed you.
Yes, it doesn't happen very often nowadays because of smartphones. So I think it's much harder now to pocket dial. I think when you had the buttons on your phone, I think it was easier to accidentally press the settings.
It
But
does
I think
still happen, you know.
I think smartphones, it really.
I still do get them off people. I think sometimes if you were going to call somebody and then suddenly there's something else happened and you don't get rid of that screen, then put it in your pocket, I think you can still accidentally call people. Just in a strange way then.
No, I'm just looking
I
at
turned
you.
colour.
No.
I've gone green.
No, you look great.
Okay, all right. I don't feel great. Right. Have we got time to squeeze another one in? Or?
I don't think we have. I think it's almost time for us to go, unfortunately. But at least we managed to squeeze two.
Alessandra says, I won.
Oh, I see.
In a way, you're all winners.
Yes.
But in
Yes.
a more accurate way, Alessandra is the winner. I'm joking.
Yes.
No, you're all winners. You're all winners because you've all had a go. And that's the important thing.
Yes.
Because by having a go, even if you've made a mistake, you're learning.
Yes.
Because everybody learns by their mistakes. So never be afraid to look utterly stupid in front of the rest of the class. No, I'm joking. But no, because we're always making ourselves look silly.
Yes, we make
So-
mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Don't be afraid to say or do or put anything in the suggestion, because this is part of the learning process.
I never intended to deceive you. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Francesca, for that one. We are about to go. I will see you next Sunday, Easter Sunday. So we will both be rather excited because it does involve food. So we will be very excited next Sunday. We might have a little bit of chocolate, not too much, because I am losing weight. I'm staying slim and beautiful for as long as I can.
At least until we go to Paris.
At least until we go to Paris, and then I'm going to eat so much food. That's one thing I do intend to do, by the way, talking of food. I do intend to eat lots of food when we're in Paris. Some lovely croissants, some brioche, and maybe we can find that lovely little restaurant we
By the
went to.
Louvre, which made the most delicious... what was it? It was
beef bourguignon.
Beef bourguignon I've ever tasted in my life,
Yes.
slow cooked. I'm hoping that those of us who are meeting up, we can all go for a nice meal together.
Yes,
But if there's a lot of us, we're going to have to book up.
yes. And Steve is paying for it.
No, I'm not.
No, Steve is not paying. We will have to go Dutch.
We'll have to go Dutch, yes. So what does that mean? Tomek's paying?
Very good.
Yes, no,
That's
I'm
quite.
joking.
That's quite. Let's leave it there.
That was quick for me.
Yeah. Don't question it. Let's leave on that high.
Right, bye everyone. Lovely to be here, even though... I'm going to sample the bread, which hopefully won't poison us. And I'll see you all next week, if not before.
Yes, that's it. Hopefully. And we will say goodbye together because I'm going as well.
Okay.
We will go together. Does that sound like a good idea?
Okay.
It's a bit like the ending of Thelma and Louise.
Well, I don't want to go over the cliff.
No, not literally. But we are disappearing. We're going to eat some of Mr. Steve's delicious bread. See you on Sunday. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. This is Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve.
saying thanks for watching. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Are you ready?
No.
Ta-ta,
Ta-ta for now.
That